Hey folks, welcome. This is Gently Chaotic Knits, and my name is Emily, and this is a mostly knitting video podcast. Sometimes I'll talk about other crafting, but don't think I have any of that today, and honestly, it's mostly about the knitting. I live in Seattle, Washington with my husband Nafis and our pup Norman, who is bringing me his toy so that I can throw it for him. I think I've talked about this on the podcast before. We have stairs in our house, and great for dog exercise. I can just toss the toy down the stairs and then he'll run down and get it and bring it back up. Anyway, that's not what this is about. It is Monday, June 26th, and again, always, every single time, I'm going to hop on here and just say, oh, I feel like it's been a while since I last recorded, and I do feel that way again today, but I am really happy to be back chatting with y'all today. I feel like I have tons of really fun stuff to talk about. I have some stuff I finished that you might have noticed. I have stuff that new things that I've cast on, some really fun stuff. I've got some fun plans. We've got a knit along. Oh, that's true. I have a little bit of spinning. I don't know if I was going to talk much about that, but anyway, I do have some fun stuff to talk about, and without delay, I feel like I'm just going to jump into it. It's been a really fun couple of weeks outside of like my knitting and my work. Sorry if you guys can hear the honking, the car alarm. Hopefully that will stop soon. But it has been a really fun couple of weeks outside of knitting and work for me as well. So I'll chat more about that at the end. We went on a really fun trip, and I can talk a little bit about that. And then, yeah, otherwise let's just talk about all the knitting stuff. So I'm going to try not to forget anything. I didn't take notes, and part of that is because I am doing a little bit of a spinning marathon today, and so every free second that I have, I am actually spinning because Tour de Fleece is coming up. I talked about this, I think, in my last episode, if not the one before that. Tour de Fleece starts July 1st, and I'm actually going over to my friend Maya's house on Friday to get started on our projects. That's technically not, it's like the day before, it's like the last day of June, but it's okay to get a head start. I feel like that's fine. Just a little one, but I really want to clear off my bobbins before Tour de Fleece so that I can start fresh with a new project. So I am working really hard. My plan is I need to finish spinning my singles for my current project today, let them rest tomorrow, which is Tuesday, then Wednesday I'll ply them, and then Thursday and Friday, like Thursday I guess as soon as I finish plying it, I can like wash it and rest it and everything. And then I'll give it a little bit of time to dry as well. So that's the hope, but that requires me finishing my singles today, and I am a little bit behind, and I have a lot of singles to spin today. So I didn't take notes, and I was just like, I'm going to take a pause from spinning and I'm going to record a podcast. And I didn't want to take the like 5 minutes to write down what I have to talk about. So this is going to be, if you can believe it, probably more chaotic than usual. And I'm going to do my best to try to remember. And if I forget stuff, then you know what, that's okay. And it's not going to hurt anyone, and it will be okay. But let's start with finished objects. I have a finished object. It is this that I'm wearing. Let me hop up here so you can see it a little bit better. Wow, that's really a weird angle for my body. I'm not sure. I don't want to like hover. I'm not really sure. Maybe I'll just, you guys can see it. This is the Strata Vest by Jacqueline Cieslak. I knit this in Explorer Knits Pike Place, which is part of the Explorer Knits Seattle collection that they developed in collaboration with La Mercerie, which is the yarn store I work at on Bainbridge Island in Washington. And this yarn was so fun to work with, and this project was really fun, and I just really enjoyed it, and I love the fit. This actually, I put this on my body for the first time like 5 minutes ago, right before I started recording. I pulled it off the blocking mats and trimmed all my ends and put it on, and I love the fit. It's a little bit of a deeper V than I feel like I normally do, but I feel like it's fun. I don't know, maybe I'm looking in the, y'all can probably tell this too, if it always looks like I'm looking slightly to the, well, for you, would it be the left or the right? Slightly off of the camera, it's because I'm looking at myself in the little like camera viewfinder thing. And it is quite a lot of contrast to the bright red with the paleness of my skin. And you can actually tell I don't have much of a tan, but this little triangle here is quite pale even compared to like the rest of my skin. Anyway, I really like this color. I feel like it's a really fun color. I haven't decided yet if I'm like, this is a great color for me, but I do think it's really fun. I am knitting this along with some of my friends, my knitting group in Seattle here. We have made a habit of knitting matching projects, like knitting matching garments for fiber festivals. We all went together to Rhinebeck last year and knit some matching sweaters and like tees and tanks there. And so we decided to do this again for Flock Fiber Festival, which is happening in like 5 weeks. It's like just over a month from now, which is blowing my mind. But we are all using the same yarn and knitting different patterns. And so this is the pattern I chose. And I think it's perfect because you can wear it both as you could wear it as a vest or as like a tank, like I'm wearing it now. I feel like it would be so cute over like a collared shirt. I'm actually thinking now I have a short-sleeved collared shirt that normally I can't wear vests and stuff with because the collar goes down pretty low, but I feel like it would be perfect with this one because this one has a really deep V, and I'm like, I really want to wear it with that. That would be really fun. So yeah, I'm excited to style this a couple different ways. I feel like the color is bright and fun, of course, for like summer, but I also think that the red will be fun for fall, especially with like a black and white gingham or like a black and white, like any kind of plaid shirt. I think this would be really cute and graphic with. So I love that idea. But yeah, I'm really excited. I am excited to see what all of my friends end up knitting to match with me in this color, and it's gonna definitely be a statement. I feel like all of us wearing bright red together, it's gonna be really fun. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I think that'll be really fun. Oh, also I forgot to say, y'all probably noticed this, but I got new glasses as well. Still adjusting to those, but I really like them. I was wanting a little bit of a change, and I do that with my glasses often. I have had in my glasses wearing life, I've had a lot of different, like very unique pairs of glasses. I remember not my first pair, but one of my first pairs when I was like really young in like middle school or something, had almost, it looked like springs on the side. They had like spirally sides, but I've done like geometric shapes, like kind of octagon shaped glasses, big circles, kind of all kinds of, I like to switch it up. I like to change up my glasses, and so I got a new pair, and I guess I can scoot up so that you can see them, but that feels weird that you're like looking closely at my face. But this is what they look like. I guess I could take them off of my body and show you, but anyway, yeah, what else do I have to say about this? I feel like I should be talking about this more. See, this is what happens when I don't have notes, and I also have not completely emotionally prepared to do this. I just sat down and was like, go! Okay, Strata Vest by Jacqueline Cieslak. This, again, this is the Explorer Knits Pike Place. It's the fingering weight. This is Denali sock. I don't remember if I said that. It's fingering weight. It's an 80-20 merino nylon blend. And I believe that I knit the size 2. I don't know. I have not measured it yet, so I don't know if I got gauge. I think I was pretty close. Also, I think I did the recommended needle size as well. I don't think I actually ended up going down a needle, which is pretty standard for me. I did the body on a US size 4 needle, and then I did all the edgings on a 2.5, but then I did also kind of block the edging out so that it doesn't like cinch too much. You can see my little block line there. But anyway, I feel like the fabric is perfect and like really drapey, and I feel like I need to sneeze. Oh, I hate this feeling. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah, I feel like that's probably all I have to say about it. You do knit this. It was knit top down. And then you pick up the edgings. You can do those all later, like do these little bits of ribbing. I don't know if y'all can see this. Again, I'll try to like awkwardly scoot up. But there's like little bits of ribbing around the neckline as well as the armholes. You can see that. So you pick up that around the armholes and around the neckline, and then do just like, I think it's like 4 or 5 rows of ribbing. All the ribbing in this pattern is 3x1, which I kind of like. Just something a little bit different, and I really liked the way that that fabric feels and looks. So anyway, now I feel like I've probably talked about this too much, but Strata Vest, I really love it, and I'm excited to get lots of wear out of it, and I'm excited to wear it at Flock with my friends. So that is my really only finished object for the last like couple weeks since I last recorded. I remember sharing my Totally Tank with y'all last time because I had technically finished it, but I hadn't woven in the ends and blocked it. So I have done that now, and so it's completely done. And you know what? I will actually pause here and put it on so that y'all can see what it looks like on my body. So we'll cut now. Okay, I'm back and I'm still wearing Strata, and the reason is I did put on the Totally Tank and it just was not the right like bra situation outfit for today. So I do actually have some pictures of me wearing it. My husband and I went to Pike Place Market last weekend. We were doing a little bit of an anniversary celebration, and he was sweet enough to take some pictures of me in my tank that I was wearing that day. So I will try to put those pictures up now so that you guys can see what it looks like on my body. I also am planning to, I don't think I will have, well, I don't know. You should be, like, if they're not up now, you'll find those pictures on Instagram soon. But yeah, I'm really happy with the fit of it. I will be honest, I'm probably more comfortable in the fit of like a tank that's got more positive ease. Like this, the fit of the Strata just feels a little bit more comfortable to me. I do have plans to knit another negative ease like tank, but it doesn't have the same scoop neck, so I'm hoping that maybe that kind of balance I feel better with, because it's kind of like stripy turtle tank, which is one of my previous designs. That one is like no ease or like negative ease, and I'm fine with that, I guess, because it's like a higher neck. But I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess just like Totally Tank is, it's just a different fit and silhouette that I normally wear, and it's not that I'm like dislike it or think it looks bad. It's just like not something I'm super used to wearing, and I'm not, to be honest, like just not as comfortable in. But I do really like the color, and I think it fits well, and the yarn feels really good because, again, this was the yarn with the little bit of cashmere in it. I think it's actually 15%, so it feels great. So yeah, 2 summer tops done. I've got another one on the needles. I've got lots more in my brain that I am ready to knit, like that I have planned. So I don't know, maybe I need to be knitting tees and tanks for more of the year because I love them so much. But I'm saying that, and honestly, this year I've knit so many tees and tanks. Like, thinking about it, I knit 2 color tip tees, I knit Velocore, I knit both of these, and so that's 5 that I've already finished. And then I also have I have another one on the needles, and then I have plans for 2 more that like maybe won't get done this year, but maybe will. Like, I don't know. I just really like tees and tanks. So yeah, anyway, there was a lot of chaos there, but I finished this. I finished Totally Tank. I don't think I finished anything else. So let's start chatting about works in progress. So first, let me update you on my dad sweater for my husband that you all have already seen. Sorry, one second. Let me quickly check my messages. Okay, sorry about that. I'm also gonna just stop and take a sip of water. Wow. Okay. Update on my works in progress. So this is, sorry, I have needles literally sticking in the fabric because I didn't want to lose them. This is my dad sweater that I am knitting for my husband. So dad sweater is a pattern by me. It is a top-down set-in sleeve pullover with a nice generous sleeve, which I've not gotten to yet. But I am knitting, I have been, if you are new or you don't remember, I am knitting this sweater pattern for all the members of my immediate family. So for my parents, my siblings, and then also for my husband. And I, of course, have one for myself as well. So all of us will have dad sweaters. I've already knit them for myself, my dad, my mom, and my brother. And so I am knitting my husband's right now, and then I will knit my sister's before her birthday, which is this fall. So I talked a little bit last time. I went on a long vacation, about like just over a week with my family. We went to a few national parks in the US. We went to Grand Teton, Yellowstone, and Glacier National Parks. And we ended up doing a lot more driving. Like I knew it was going to be a lot of driving, but it was just longer, like more long drives than I expected. I thought there was going to be a lot more like short drives, but there were a lot of like 1 to 2 hour drives just back and forth from where we were staying in the park and that kind of stuff. And so I ended up having a lot more knitting time than I expected. And so I didn't talk about this with Strata, but I only brought 2 projects with me on that trip. And I normally, when I go on trips, like when I go on vacation or when I'm traveling at all, I try to make sure that I bring like a lot more knitting than I think I will need, just in case I end up doing more knitting than I expect, just in case I'm not feeling excited about one project, just in case I like lose a needle or a ball of yarn or like something happens. I don't know. I don't want to be stuck and not have knitting. And this trip is the closest I've ever come to running out of knitting. And it's not because anything bad happened. Well, it's kind of my fault because I didn't bring the things I needed. But I couldn't have gone that. Anyway, I'll just say I almost ran out of knitting. So these are the only 2 projects that I brought. I brought my Strata Vest that I was working on. At that point, I had, I think, only finished the back. And so I still had to do the front 2 pieces and then the rest of the body and then all the edgings. And then this sweater, I don't remember where I was exactly. I think I had joined in the round. So I was just working on the body of this sweater. So you'd think like that's plenty to work on in a week. Shouldn't have been a problem. And that's kind of what I thought. But I also did not think about like, oh, there are different tools that I need if I want to continue to different parts of these projects. So like Strata Vest, I only brought the body needles. So like I told y'all, I knit the body on US size 4 needles, and I did all the edgings and the ribbings on US 2.5 needles. So I worked on Strata a ton on this trip, and I got to the point where it was time to do the ribbing at the bottom of the body, and I didn't have the needles. So I had to stop. So I literally like got to a point halfway through this trip where I was done with what I could do on Strata. So I only had this project, and you can see I did a lot of work on it, and I am almost done with the body. And this was all done like pretty much exclusively on that trip. Like I don't think I've even knit it at all since getting home. So I honestly got to the point I'm maybe a couple inches away from wanting to do the ribbing. And again, I didn't bring the ribbing needles for this project. I don't know what I was thinking, but I didn't bring the ribbing needles. I brought enough yarn. Like, this was the last ball of yarn I brought, but it is like, you can see how much I have left of this ball of yarn. Like, I could have gone for another like day or two to work through this ball of yarn, but I didn't bring my ribbing needles. I also didn't bring the needles that I need for the sleeves. So like, I couldn't have done, if I got finished with the body of this and got ready to do the ribbing, I would have had to stop and I would have been out of knitting for this trip, which is just like, I know that it's easy. I kind of make fun of myself, and we probably make fun of each other, and I know non-knitters probably make fun of us when you're like, I'm going on a trip, I'm gonna bring 4 knitting projects. But like, I brought 2, and I brought a lot of knitting. Like, I knit most of this top on that trip and most of the body of this sweater, and that was for 1 week. And I thought that it would be totally enough, and it wasn't. I mean, it was, but it barely was. So I am here as a voice to just validate you whenever you feel like you're going on vacation and you're like, I don't know, should I bring this 3rd project? Or like, is this gonna be enough knitting? No, bring more. Yes, you should bring the extra project. I am here to support you in that, and you should bring it, because I was so scared. I was like, are we gonna have to stop at a yarn store? Am I gonna have to order from Amazon these like knitting needles to our Airbnb so that I can like keep going? I was really nervous. But anyway, back to the discussion at hand, which is this work in progress. So I'm knitting this sweater for my husband. It is, again, it's the dad sweater patterned by me. I am knitting him I'm technically knitting the size 1 broad shoulder, but my gauge is off, so I'm hoping to get the measurements of the size 2 broad shoulder. And luckily the gauge works out perfectly, so that I will just get size 2 measurements, even if I knit the size 1. And I am using Rerum Natura Gilliatt in the colorway Fusain, which I already gave you all a little bit of a close-up, but let me give you a close-up of what this fabric looks like, because it's beautiful. It's like a really pretty, it's probably getting blown out if I just block off the whole screen, but it's a really dark charcoal gray that has a really nice kind of like heathered quality to it, so you can see all the little flecks of the lighter bits in there. And actually, yeah, the stitch marker that I put on it was my travel day. So the day that we were traveling home, which was, I guess, exactly 1 week ago. It was last Monday. I like to put a marker on. I think I've talked about this on here before. I like to put a marker on my projects and I move it at the beginning of each day, and then I can see exactly how much I knit that day. I just really love that. Like, my daily progress. And so this was the morning of our travel day. So I did, I guess, I don't know, 3.5 inches or something on our travel day, and that's where I left off. So again, I think I have just a couple inches left before adding in the body ribbing. And yeah, I feel like this project is going well. I don't really have like a deadline for this. I just wanted to make sure to get started working on it. So I was our anniversary was like a couple weeks ago. I guess it was 10 days ago. I was kind of hoping that I would finish for our anniversary, but I did not, and that's okay. That was like a really ambitious goal. I had a lot of other stuff I was knitting, and I don't think I cast it on early enough to finish by then. But otherwise, I don't really have a deadline, because like it's June right now. He's not going to be able to wear it until the fall anyway. So it's going to be probably, yeah, like October, I feel like, at the earliest that he's able to wear it. Although I say that, y'all, I mean, it wasn't that cold. It wasn't that warm. It was temperate on our vacation, but my sweet brother brought his dad's sweater that I knit him, and he wore it on the trip, and I can't even tell you, like, my heart pretty much exploded. It was probably too warm for him to be wearing it, but he wanted to, and so he brought it and he wore it, and it just made my heart explode. But yeah, I'm not in a rush to get this finished. I think it's a good background project to have, just because it's nice basic stockinette. it's hard for me not to set like goals for myself in my mind. Like I'm kind of thinking, okay, I have 2 sleeves left. I can probably finish that in like a week. I won't. I know y'all that have been around for a while may remember a statement that I made that honestly at the time I did not know was that controversial. I said that I expected I could knit. I don't even remember what project I was talking about, but my rule of thumb tends to be that I can knit a sleeve in a day. And I mentioned that, and I have gotten quite a lot of like pushback against that. A lot of people will say to me like, Emily, that's kind of wild that you think that. And that apparently that is like a bold take of mine, that my rule of thumb is that I can knit a sleeve in a day. And I think that there are definitely sleeves that I cannot knit in a single day, but there are sleeves that I can knit in a single day, and I have knit several sleeves in a single day before. So it's not that out of the question, I think. But I will say that the sleeves for this sweater are definitely not single day sleeves. Dad's sweater sleeves are multiple day sleeves. So I do not expect that I have just a couple days left on this project. I would expect that I have closer to like a week and a half left on this project, because the sleeves they're hefty sleeves. Although I think for my husband's, I am planning to knit his sleeves a little bit slimmer, just because like according to his preferences, I think I'll do a little bit of a slimmer sleeve for him on that. And I already adjusted accordingly and made the armholes a little bit shallower, like not as deep of armholes as well. Otherwise, what else am I supposed to say about this? I'm knitting on a US size 5 needle. I think the pattern calls for a 6, but I'm doing a 5. It gives a little bit of a denser fabric, especially because this yarn I'm using is heavier than the yarn that the pattern calls for. And that's pretty much it. I have enjoyed working on this. I do think that it was sweet to be working on this sweater on our anniversary. I've talked before about how emotional I get when I knit things for other people. I really, really love knitting for my loved ones. And I also am the type of person that gets sentimental about like birthdays and anniversaries and those kinds of things. And so the fact that I was like putting my hands into making this sweater for him, and I was doing that on our anniversary. It was our 5th wedding anniversary, which, like, I don't know, 5 years feels like a long time. So I felt a lot of love when just being able to work on this for him on our anniversary. So yeah, I like knitting for other people. I get a lot of like fulfillment and love and enjoyment from it. And I think I've talked about this before, and I don't need to go through the whole thing again, but I do really love to knit for the people that I love. So yeah. Other works in progress. I feel like that's pretty much all I was working on last episode, so I feel like it's just new stuff now. I did put like a couple of rows into this sock that I was working on for Nafis. I also lost one of my stitch stoppers. I have this set from Cocoa Knits, and I've lost several of them, but I lost the other one of this size. Bummer. I did like maybe 5 rows on this. So I'm not even going to talk about it completely. I'm just knitting a ribbed sock. This is Ovis, etc. Igneae in the colorway Confettie Charcoal. And that's it. That's all I'll say about that. New cast-ons. So let's see. One new cast-on I have, I talked a little bit about last time. I was planning to start knitting some cutie little baby animals from the Mouche and Friends book, and I have started that. So this is the book. It's a pom-pom publication, I believe. No, Lina publication. Mouche and Friends by Cinthia Vallet. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. But I am knitting Mouche which is this little sweetie. Here, that's not a great picture of him. Let me find a better picture of him. This is Mouche, the bear. And he's wearing his pajamas in this picture, but I am not planning to make his pajamas. I am planning to make his dungarees, which I can try to find a picture of those. Oh, here he is. Here is Mouche in his little dungarees. So cute. Anyway, I started knitting Mouche, and I have never knit or crocheted any like stuffies before, stuffed animals. Like no amigurumi, none of that. I've never done it before. And so this is totally new to me, and I'm so happy that I started with this book and this pattern as my first little stuffed animal project, because the book is incredible. The book is amazing. The pattern is so well written, but it also includes, the book includes these lessons which tell you like really well in detail how to do each part of the pattern. And then the pattern just like refers you back to these lessons, and the lessons apply to like all different animals, like all different parts of different animals. Anyway, it was so addicting. Like once I started working on this, I could not stop, and I actually had to stop because I didn't have everything I needed, but I wanted to show you. This is kind of disturbing looking actually. I have knit a bear head. This is what it looks like, and the little yellow yarn is where I've marked where his eyes and his ears are gonna go. So you can see, and he's not stuffed right now, so he's just like kind of, I won't say the word I was thinking of. He's empty, I'll say. So his eyes are gonna go there, and then I have marked here like where his ears will go. And so yeah, I've done his little head. I think very predictably my gauge is a little looser than the pattern called for. Not a ton, but I do think that my Mouche is gonna be a little bit bigger than Mouche is intended to be. It's gonna be a big Mouche, but that's okay. The pattern calls for knitting on a US size 0 needle, and so I just knit it on a US size 0 needle. I'm using fingering weight yarn. I believe this is Ampersand Fibers, Caslon fingering. This is just some yarn that I had in my stash. I just found this and I've had enough of it, and I thought this would be a cute little bear color. So I'm just using leftover yarn, and yeah, I had to pause because at this point it says to put in Mouche's eyes and also knit his little ears. So I guess I could have knit his ears, but I needed to get his eyes. I needed to get safety eyes, and let me see if I can grab them. Okay, yes, I have Mouche's eyes. So we started selling safety eyes at La Mercerie, so I was able to just pick these up from La Mercerie. But we had 3 different eye colors, and I decided to give Mouche little bluey, kind of silvery eyes. Is this gonna be creepy if I just hold up little tiny eyeballs? Is that creepy? Oh, is it weird if I want to use these eyeballs as the thumbnail? Why do I think that's so funny? I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm probably gonna go for it because that's weird. But yeah, so I got little eyeballs, so now I can continue. I can put Mouche's eyes in, and I think I probably could have kept going, but I didn't want, like, if we're gonna kind of close up his head and keep going on his body, I didn't want it to be hard to kind of get my fingers in there to put the eyes in. So since it said it was time for the eyes, I decided I would just pause and get safety eyes. But this whole head I did in like, I mean, a morning. It was like an hour or something. So I feel like it's gonna go really quickly. My nose is so itchy. Why is it so itchy? Anyway, Mouche. Cutie. And so fun. Like, I just wanted to keep going. I was actually kind of sad that I didn't have what I needed and that I had to pause. But now I have not picked it back up since I got the eyes because I have been in marathon spinning mode. But that is one work in progress that I have now. And then my only other work in progress is a new cast on. And it's a really exciting one because I have more fun stuff to share about it. So those of you that follow me on Instagram may already know about this, but my friend Maya and I are doing a make-along. Did I already talk about this on the podcast? I kind of feel like I didn't, so I'm going to talk about it now. My friend Maya and I are doing a make-along. We are calling it the match-along, and y'all that have watched me for a while probably know I love knitting matching things with my friends. Maya and I in particular have knit many matching sweaters, tees, that kind of thing, but I love just generally, like, I think that your knitting experience is, I don't know, personally, for me, my knitting experience I feel like is really, what is the word I'm trying to think of? It's just, it feels better to knit along with a friend. It feels really fun to be working on the same thing and to be checking in with each other and then to be able to wear them together and talk about your experience along as you're doing it. And so Maya had the idea a while ago to do a make along just to try to encourage and inspire other folks to do the same thing and to make along with their friends or with us. So we cast on. The cast on day for the make along was Saturday, so just a couple days ago. We have plenty of time. We're gonna run the make along all the way up until Rhinebeck in October, which we will be at together wearing all of our matching things. Okay, not all of them, because we have way too many matching things for a like single weekend event. But maybe, I don't know, we may have to do some costume changes so that we can wear more of our matching things. So we decided to knit the Tulsa Tee by the Aimée, and we are using for this, I say we because Maya is knitting, I mean the point is that we're knitting the same thing, but we're actually using the same yarn, and the way we're doing the colors is really fun as well, which I'll talk about in a second. But let me first just tell you. So we're knitting the Tulsa Tee by the Aimée, and it is a like short-sleeved, pretty basic raglan t-shirt. The pattern actually calls for fingering weight yarn held double. So we are using cotton merino, which is a yarn base from Knitting for Olive, and the colorways soft aqua, and I think this one is dark ochre. I feel like I have the tag here, so let me see if I can find it. Is it dark ochre? Yes, dark ochre. So we're using soft aqua and dark ochre, and we're doing the striped version. So there are lots of different mods for this pattern. There are a ton of different ways to do it. There's like a textured stitch. You can always do a basic one, but we are doing the striped version, and so I am using the soft aqua as my main color and the dark ochre as my contrast. So you can see my stripes in there. And Maya is actually doing it the reverse. So she's using the dark ochre as her main color and the soft aqua as her contrast color. And it's so cute. These colors are knitting up so much. Like, I expected them to be cute, but every time I look at it, I'm just like, wow, this is way cuter than I even expected it to be. The colors are knitting up beautifully. The fabric feels so nice, and I just am really, really enjoying it. So again, it's the cotton merino from Knitting for Olive held double. We grabbed this yarn from La Mercerie, the yarn store that we both work at. And the fun thing about this is that this is also a perfect entry for the summer flock along, as well as this, of course, I didn't even say that, this vest, this tank that I knit is also a perfect entry for the summer flock along because I'm planning to wear it at flock with my friends. But in case I haven't mentioned it before, we're also doing a knit along, a make along at La Mercerie for Flock Fiber Festival, which I know I already talked about, but for any tee or tank pattern. And so this Tee also works perfectly for that as well. So lots of tea, like again, lots of tees and tanks, lots of things. Again, I guess flock is only 3 days, so I don't know how many like costume changes I will be having at flock as well. And I also may not even be able to wear knitwear because I may have to wear like a flock t-shirt, so because I'll be working at the show. So anyway, but Tulsa Tee, we cast this on Saturday and I didn't work on it at all today. So this is literally just Saturday and Sunday's work. We cast on Saturday night and then I also worked on Sunday. Like I worked a full shift at La Mercerie on Sunday. So I've had very little time to work on this and it's just going so quickly. I feel like I'm going to be done with this in no time. Like it just is, it's absolutely breezing off the needles. It is so fast. And I think that the stripes are so addictive too. I just like always want to get to the next stripe. And I was talking to Maya about this as well. Something that I really enjoy, especially about the way that we chose our colors, is that because I'm doing soft aqua as my main color and dark ochre as the contrast, and she's doing dark ochre as her main color, I feel like that for some reason in my mind, I'm like, okay, soft aqua is Emily and dark ochre is Maya. And so I feel like whenever I get to a stripe and I'm putting in dark ochre, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's time to put a little bit of Maya in my t-shirt, you know? And I just like, that makes me so happy and it makes me so excited to get to the little Maya bits, I guess. So anyway, I don't know. I like knitting with friends and I like having knitting friends, and y'all should join the match along. And if you don't know anyone that also knits that you want to match with, everyone is welcome to knit a Tolsta Tee along with myself and Maya, and that will count as well, of course. But also, we posted on Instagram a post where folks could comment what they were interested in making and kind of find matches that way. And we already had some folks like pair up and decide to match each other, and I just love that so much. And finding friends in the fiber community is just the best thing, and I love it. And yeah, so that's it for my works in progress. There's a hashtag for the match along as well as for the flock along, so I will include both those hashtags in the description below so that y'all can check out the hashtags if you want to see other projects that people are making. Best place to see that is probably on Instagram. And otherwise, that's pretty much it for stuff that I have been knitting. I have lots of stuff that I want to cast on. I have lots of stuff that I'm excited to be working on soon. I really want to knit a mini mock neck by Jessie May. I just finished, I talked about the Totally tank top, but she also released, Jessie May released the mini mock neck, and I talked about this briefly. I don't think I mentioned the name of it, but it is also like a negative ease. It's a little bit of a higher neck, really flattering silhouette, like tank top. And I'm really itching to knit one of those as well, although I think I'll try to finish my Tolsta first and reserve myself to only one tee or tank on the needles at a time. But I have pulled the yarn out that I think I want to use for it. I really want to use this kind of like grayish blue yarn that I got. It's Fidalgo Artisan Yarn and Clothing. This is a yarn store in Washington. I don't remember where in Washington it is. I went there as part of the Pacific Northwest yarn crawl a couple of years ago, and I bought this yarn, and I don't even remember what I originally bought it to use for. Ooh, these skeins are kind of different looking, so I'm wondering, like, I probably really do need to alternate when I knit this, but yeah, I don't remember what I originally bought it for, but I thought it would make a really good tank. But I also have my eye on a shop update that's happening actually in 20 minutes, so I need to hurry up so that I can get on it. Stacy from Stress Knits is doing a shop update, which she is doing like a whole kind of Taylor Swift collection, which I'm really excited about. And there's one color in it, her red colorway, that, like, for the album Red, I really love and I feel like I need to have. So I may actually get yarn for that with the intent of making a mini mock neck with that yarn. It's very much the color that I know that I already have a lot of and I really, really love. But, like, more is always good, right? If you love something, just, it's okay to lean in and get more of it. Like, oh, I almost forgot. I have an acquisition. I have, oh my gosh. This is what happens when I don't take notes. Okay, wait 1 second. I'll be back. I almost forgot about some yarn that arrived. Okay, I really need to get going so that I can buy this yarn. Okay, whew. Focus. Here we go. Okay. Acquisitions. I bought this yarn a while ago. It was part of a pre-order and it just arrived. I think it arrived actually while I was on vacation. We like put a hold on our mail and packages and stuff, and so it got delivered after we got back from our trip. But I ordered a sweater quantity of the Nope colorway from Sorella. This was part of their Knitflix collection that they brought back this year. Although I believe this was a new colorway. I don't think this was part of the collection when they did it originally. And I mean, y'all will see this color and you probably will think, yes, Emily, that's a very you colorway. But also, I don't think I've talked about it on here. I mean, why would I? This colorway is called Nope, after Leslie Knope from Parks and Rec. And Parks and Rec is like my very favorite TV show. It's like my comfort TV show. The one that you like always put on in the background, you know, and like watch a million times and like know every line and everything. That is Parks and Rec for me. So I was like, I have to have this color. So I bought 5 skeins of this colorway on Classic DK. It is a beautiful golden yellow, like mustardy color. And my intent is to make a cardigan with it. I'm really feeling like, I mean, I wear pullovers all the time and I love pullovers, but I really feel like I need to up my cardigan game. Like, I think that if I had really beautiful and nice cardigans, like hand knit cardigans, I think I would wear them. So I'm feeling the itch to make cardigans. So I got this yarn to, I think I may make the Field Day cardigan by Ozetta, which is just like a basic stockinette cardigan, and a couple of my friends have made it or are making it now, and one, I would love to match them because I love to match, but also they have said really good things about the pattern and everything, so I feel like that would be a good one to do. So that is my acquisition. Do I have any other acquisitions that I'm just like completely blanking on? I do have an acquisition that's sitting on my dining room table that I have not opened yet. I ordered from the Explore Knits National Parks collection, which was a large pre-order I ordered from a while ago, and that yarn arrived, but my friend Maya and I ordered together and it all shipped to my house, and I decided not to open it until we could open it together. So I am going to take it with me and we're going to open it together in a few days. So I have not opened it and I cannot show it to you yet because I'm waiting until we can open it together. So I have that acquisition technically in my house right now, but it's probably not that fun for me to show you a bag of yarn that you can't see the inside of. So otherwise, that's pretty much it, I feel like, for the knitting stuff. I'm not going to take too long here on the other stuff because I have yarn that I want to buy in 15 minutes. But our trip, our vacation to the national parks last week was incredible. I feel like the weather was really nice. It wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold. We got to see some really stunning things. So it was all 3 national parks that were new for me that I hadn't been to before: Teton, Yellowstone, and Glacier National Parks. Teton and Yellowstone are really close to each other in like Wyoming. And then we did Teton first and then Yellowstone, and then we took a day and drove up to Montana, and then we did a couple days at Glacier National Park. absolutely stunning. Just really beautiful. I can try to put a couple pictures in here as well of just like some of the beautiful things that we saw. I expected it to be beautiful. I honestly did not expect it to be as beautiful as it was. And Teton, like I don't know, Yellowstone feels like a national park that people talk about a lot because it was like, I think it was the first national park, and I don't know. Anyway, just like people I feel like talk about Yellowstone, and Yellowstone was incredible and had so much variety, and that was so cool about it, like the geysers and the wildlife and the mountains and the hiking and everything was really beautiful. But Teton really kind of blew me away. It was stunning. Like, it was really, really beautiful. And then Glacier as well. We didn't get to, well, we got to do quite a bit in Glacier, but we did have a little bit of a mishap with a flat tire on one of our rental cars in Glacier National Park. And then, like, when you're in the middle of a national park, it's kind of hard to get a tow and for, like, to get your rental car switched out. And I don't know, the rental car didn't have a spare, and it was just kind of a mess, and it took like 8 hours to get a tow one day, and it just was kind of a mess. So we did have some mishaps, I will say, but overall stunning. Like, we saw so much wildlife. We saw bison, so many bison, so close up, like by the road that we were driving by, blocking our path at times, like making us wait. So that was incredible. We saw bears from like a very safe distance, but was very cool. We saw elk. We saw like I don't know, it was just like so cool. So that was really amazing. It was great to spend time with my family and to see everyone. It had been a really long time since, like, I think it had been since the holidays that I had seen my siblings. And so that was really, really nice to see them. I was like really needing that, I feel like. So that was amazing. And yeah, it was great to just kind of disconnect for a little bit. And I got lots of knitting done on the drives, and we just saw some really incredible things. So that was incredible. We got back last Monday, and then it's been kind of busy since then. I feel like I have worked a couple extra days since then. Normally I work, like, actually go in physically to the shop at like on Bainbridge and like take the ferry and everything twice a week, but I did that 3 days this week, and also did some extra flock related work from home. And I also had to do like a site visit for flock as well at the event space that we're having the festival, which is really exciting. I cannot wait. I am nervous because I am part of the team that is putting this festival together, and so that is just a thing that is gonna make me nervous and anxious, but I'm so excited as well. Like, y'all have no idea. It's gonna be amazing, and I can't wait. I can't wait for it. So that's really exciting. Lots of prep work being done for that. I've been spinning more since I got back, just feeling really excited and inspired by some of my friends. My online spinning friends have been really inspiring me, so that's been really fun. And prepping and trying to get ready for Tour de Fleece. I think I shared last time my finished bobbins. So I am still working on that same spinning project, the 3-ply sock yarn, but I have 2 bobbins done now. I kind of feel like I shared them last time, but maybe I didn't. So I have 2 bobbins done, and I'm working on the 3rd bobbin right now, and I am hoping that I'll finish the 3rd bobbin today, but it's already almost 4 o'clock, so maybe not. But yeah, I've been spinning a little more. On Friday, my husband and I, so it was our anniversary actually happened when we were on the trip with my family, but we did kind of like what we called anniversary observed, where we celebrated our anniversary on Friday after we got back. And in very like characteristic fashion for us, it was very centered around food. So I made homemade biscuits, and we did like bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit sandwiches for brunch, and then we made homemade ice cream and cookies, and we did ice cream sandwiches, and then we also made sourdough pizza for dinner. And then that's when we also went to the market to Pike Place for just like a fun little day trip. and we got some fresh fruit at the market and just like some snacks. I got an apple cider slushy, which was really good. It basically just tastes like apple juice though, but like cold and slushy, so that was fun. And then what else? I feel like that's pretty much it. I've just been, like, I was at work the last couple of days, which is always great, but not a ton to say about that. So we're preparing. My dad and my grandparents are coming to visit in a little over a week, I guess like a week and a half, for the MLB All-Star game, which is happening in like a couple weeks. And so we are getting ready for that, which is going to be really fun. The weather here has been good. It's been kind of in the 70s, which has been really nice. On Saturday, I will say, after work at Lumbersery, we had a little cast on for the match along. So Maya and I both work at Lumbersery on Saturdays, and so after work we decided to just go to a park nearby to cast on our matching projects, and a couple of our other coworkers joined us, and it was just the most delightful evening. We just got to sit outside and the weather was great, and we got to chat and knit together, and I'm very much like in favor of outdoor crafting, outdoor knitting. I think it's just delightful. So that was absolutely a highlight of my week as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I feel like I don't have a lot else to share, and I probably should hop off so that I can buy yarn and spin, and it's also time for a norm walk, so there's lots of stuff to do, but I am so glad that you stuck with me through this one, and I don't know when I'll be able to record next, but hopefully I'll have more teas and things to show you then. But if I lost my train of thought. I don't know what I was trying to say. If I forgot something today, well, I'll try to put it in the next one. And I probably did, because I just completely did not plan for this. But thank you so much for watching today. I hope you do lots of knitting and watch lots of baseball. All-Star game is going to be probably during this time period, so watch the All-Star game. Home Run Derby is my birthday, July 10th. So watch the Home Run Derby. And also have a great week, or a couple of weeks, or just have a great time period. Bye.